Hello, is this Mr. Gambino here with a new stream? In this stream, we'll be going over the event week for this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. So starting off, the podium vehicle for the week is the Vader Adder. Vader Adder is actually one of those like supercars from day one of Grand Theft Auto 9, Grand Theft Auto 5. It was back from September 17, 2013. So pretty old nostalgic vehicle. Pretty old nostalgic vehicle for this particular game. I'll go into more details, obviously, later on. Alright, I got discount, apparently. Pedal and metal, are you serious? Wow, that's lame. I would have appreciated that on certain San Andreas for the new vehicle game, but okay. I definitely won't be using that one. Again, you gotta go like all the way back to the beginning of the game essentially for the Adder, so practically at the bottom of the Majority Motorsport website. Alright. Here it is, the Vader Adder. Vader Adder, by getting the podium vehicle, it's exactly $1 million. And yeah, it doesn't really have any liveries and whatnot, because not much of a day one vehicle had that. So they're practically guaranteed to save $1 million here, but yeah. I'm just gonna say, this $1 million they'll be saving won't really be worth it. As mentioned, it is a vehicle from day one of the game, so obviously there's been so many vehicles released for the supercar class since. So it just doesn't compare anymore. But yeah, for lap time, it's actually like the 4th worst supercar in the entire game in terms of lap time, which is a 42nd place for lap time actually. Or actually including the rocket boosted vehicles, it's actually 45th place for a lap time. Because most likely all of those rocket boosted vehicles are obviously better in lap time. And I'm going off a Bruffy1322 spreadsheet, by the way, so credit goes to Bruffy1322. And then for top speed, it's actually significantly better, being 20th place, but still. But 23rd place again, probably accounting for the rocket boosted vehicles. So it's barely above average for the supercar class for top speed. But yeah, lap time top speed, yeah, you're not really gonna get much out of that. And then the customizations, I wanna say, probably aren't that good, I'd say. If you wanna like preview on the performance and not customizations and stuff, you can literally just fully customize the vehicle in like single player and stuff. Okay, notice the time trials right here, so I'll probably check it out here, I guess. Usually I don't like check through the actual Corona with the time trial, but I guess I will since it's right here. Usually I just talk about on like the map view. But yeah, I guess I'll go over Previon race first though. But yeah, Previon race for the week is taking off for the supercar class. And yeah, it takes place on the airport, it looks like, kind of on the runway and stuff, and there's a lot of streets obviously on the airport runway. So usually I tend to go for a lap time, obviously, but I feel this one could probably have a lot of top speed, actually. So I'll go over number 1 top speed for the supercar class. And yeah, going off of Previon 1322 spreadsheet, the number 1 supercar in terms of top speed would go to the P-Fister 811. Which, if I remember, P-Fister 811 is from the Finance Bounty update, so that's like a mid-2016 vehicle release. So quite a ways down on the Luxury Motorsport website for where to find it. And yeah, P-Fister 811, I think it's 1,135,000, 1,145,000, something like that. So you probably only gotta do like 1 Cayo Perico, maybe 2, including performance upgrades. So maybe like a 2-hour investment in terms of time. If you want like the number 1 top speed. So that's taking off the premium race. Regular time trial for the week is actually casino. And it seems to go to a Vinewood Hills mansion. Some sort of Vinewood Hills mansion. I want to say it's like over here or something. But yeah, interesting that they actually put the new casino on there. I didn't know they actually ever updated that thumbnail, and it's pretty cool for that particular time trial. Yes. Well, like I said, since right here, I want to check where it actually goes to, and yes, it does go over here. So it will be a little over 1.5 miles. So yeah, it's a little over 1.5 miles for the trip you'll have to make there. Shouldn't be too tough, I'd say. But yeah, it's probably mainly going to prioritize in lap time, I would say, for that one. So I'll go over the lap time, number 1 option for the supercar class for the time trial. So if you want to use the lap time option for that premium race, obviously you can put that into account. But yeah, the number 1 option for lap time for a supercar would be the Previon Emirates. Previon Emirates is actually like 2.7, 2.9 million, I believe, for the stock vehicle. And with customizations, with the performance ones only, I mean, probably like low to mid 3 mil range on the Previon Emirates. And in terms of Cayo Perico, maybe like 3 to 4 hour time investment. It's essentially the best money making method for sure, for legitimate money. And then going into motorcycle for the number 1 option for lap time, and then also kind of the best average vehicle in general for time trial. But yeah, number 1 for the motorcycle class for lap time would go to the Nagasaki Jotaro, which is a $2.2, $2.3 million motorcycle. Nagasaki Jotaro, I think it actually has to be unlocked. I think you have to actually like play a match at deadline. You don't have to like win a match at deadline, but you have to play a match at deadline, which deadline's in adversary mode. So yeah, you do have to play a match at deadline, I believe, in order to unlock the vehicle for purchase if for some reason you do not have it. And by the way, going back to Previon Emirates real quick, that's a 2019, mid-2019 release on Luxury Motorsport, so not too far down that website. And then Nagasaki Shotaro is also on the Legendary Motorsport website, but that one's like late 2016, so kind of a good ways down on the Legendary Motorsport website. And yeah, if I didn't say it's like $2.3 million. And with like the customizations, like performance upgrades, probably like mid to high 2 mil range, I'd say, for the Nagasaki Shotaro fully upgraded. With the performance upgrades only again. By the way, Nagasaki Shotaro, I think, is a pretty unique motorcycle where I think you can lean forward or backwards with the stick for the best possible speed, because for those who don't know, you can get somewhat of a like speed increase based on like how you move the stick with the motorcycles and stuff. I think the Nagasaki Shotaro is the one where you can like do forward or backwards with the stick for the best possible speed, as if doing like a stoppie or a wheelie. Most work where you have to do like a wheelie, I think, for the best possible speed for the motorcycles. But yeah, that's the Nagasaki Shotaro I mentioned there. And then, yeah, going into the best general vehicle for time trials, period. So if you want the best time trial vehicle in general for 2021, that would go to the Body 801. So I say best time trial vehicle period would definitely go to the Body 801. Body 801 is actually a very cheap vehicle. It's like $10,000 or like $9,000, $8,000 even for the stock vehicle, and then with the customization upgrades that matter, the like performance upgrades, obviously, I'd say like $250,000, $500,000 maybe for the Body 801 with the performance upgrades. And what's so good about the Body 801, it's actually a third place lap time and a third place top speed for the motorcycle class, which means you're getting very good performance for lap time and top speed. So for that reason, the Body 801 from day one of the game on the San Andreas Super Auto website, I'd say is definitely the best time trial vehicle for 2021, considering you can no longer use those rocket boosted vehicles anymore, as in the last couple years. But yeah, it's on San Andreas, and it's like the way bottom, obviously, being a day one vehicle. And Body 801, you have to lean backwards to the stick as if you're doing like a wheelie for best possible speed, as you do with like 95% motorcycles. And then finally, the RC Bandito time trial. Not that I really go in detail much with these anyways, but it's Construction Site 1. Construction Site 1. I do actually have a RC Bandito time trial guide for the Construction Site 1 time trial. But I'm not really the best when it comes to the like time trials in terms of like making a guide for them or anything for the couple of few that I have done for the RC Bandito time trials. Quite frankly, it was kind of a boring series to make, so I kind of stopped production on it. But yeah, obviously there's no vehicle advice in terms of the RC Bandito, because the RC Bandito is the only vehicle you can use. But yeah, in terms of a more popular YouTuber in terms of a RC Bandito time trial guide, I would have heard of GTA Men. GTA Men always seems to rehash the RC Bandito time trial guides, and then regular time trial guides he has as well every time they come out. So he tends to do one every single time they release, so if you want good RC Bandito time trial guides, I think GTA Men does time trial guides. I don't watch them, so I don't know how good they are, but I imagine they're pretty good. Or just GTA series videos as well. They have videos on like all the different time trials. They don't like do them anywhere near as frequently. And then they also don't commentate on them, so you won't get much advice on them, but yeah. But quite frankly, I would kind of recommend just doing it on your own, kind of learning from it, so you kind of know better for any future times. And I should do for the Previon race time trial and RSP and Data time trial. And actually, I'm going to go to my Sparrow so I don't have to have the Dominator ASP around. Because the Karin Previon is actually one of the few vehicles I really wanted from the Tuners update. So I will be buying the Previon and customizing it. And unfortunately, no, they did not do it this time around like they did for the last week, where they actually put the new vehicle as the prize ride. They did not do that this time around, unfortunately. And yeah, anyone who's read the Rockstar Newswire and whatnot would know what the new prize ride is, but I'll be going over that later. God damn it, I literally sneezed right before this fucking live stream. My throat's so super fucked now. God damn it. Also, yeah, I am aware of the expanded and enhanced thing that went on, but yeah, I'll probably again talk about that later.
Through to your garage. You, need me to bring you a ride? It's on the way.
Does seem to be some somewhat unique strut race options, similar to the Cypher from what I recall here. But yeah, for those who didn't notice, it's actually a coupe, which is pretty cool, because we haven't got a coupe in like 5 years. I think literally over 5 years. I think the last coupe was a Windsor Drop, I believe, which was like another version of the Windsor, which this is kind of our first like unique coupe, since literally like the 7th generation versions were around and whatnot, as like still getting updates, I mean, and whatnot. So pretty cool to finally get a pretty unique coupe this time around. So like another version of the Windsor, for example. And also this is actually a retro vehicle from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, for those who don't know. So this was previously in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, similar in style to in this CR350, which is on a Spectator there actually, which I haven't really talked about yet, and then also the Euros. So it's similar to those two, how it featured previously in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And it was apparently also cut from Grand Theft Auto 4, which is pretty interesting. So it was even going to be in like a second previous Grand Theft Auto game, but it was cut from GTA 4 apparently, and it sure it would have been in the episodes as well. Okay, I don't know why, but the exhaust does not seem to be disappearing when I'm like doing both of the triggers like it usually tends to do. I think it tends to get rid of the smoke. Oh well, should still get a good enough view anyways. Ooh, nice. Okay, honestly, I could barely notice the difference there, but I finally started to notice it recently. I like the vents on that one. And yeah, by the way, for those who don't know, you can actually like buy the one that does show up at the Ellis car meet. So if you want to buy the one that's on the test track, if you want to like start off with a livery instead of buying like a more simplified version on the like website, that's what I did. I bought it from the test track so I would have a livery to start on it already. Because if I bought it from the website, I wouldn't even have a livery on it. Which is kind of a mistake I made with the Tailgater S recently. I didn't buy it from like the test track that was Prime Gaming, and I wasn't sure if it would have put the Prime Gaming on account, but it turns out it did, I believe if I checked. And that was like a couple weeks ago, I mean, but yeah. Okay, the bolted's the last one for that one, but the front one's the last one for that one. That's interesting. I don't know why it's not bolted for the last one for both, but oh well. I'm not too picky with the fenders, quite frankly. But yeah. Funny thing, by the way, is apparently the intercooler here has like the NIS logo. I don't know if there's like much of a reason for that, because I'm not like the most car savvy person or something. That's kind of ironic having like a NIS intercooler right under a Karin logo. It's quite ironic. Oh my god. Okay, I was about to say, I don't think I want to do the NIS ones for sure. Yeah, I was probably gonna choose this last option anyways, but so, yeah. Just traditional options here. Hood catches, I'll only put those on if there's like a chauffeur hood or something. Vader is a safer hood on this, which is quite nice. I like some of these hood options though. Like I said, I don't always put the hood catches on, but I like to if I can, so I will be going to safer hood. Just to put the hood catches on, because that's not something I traditionally do. And I'm not a big fan of the hood catch options, so I'm just going to do the gold one. Since they're very copy-paste, essentially, and that's why I don't like them too much. Since they're practically always the same on every vehicle. Horn. That's cool, we got a new coupe, so I'm not going to put sad trombone on it or anything. I'll probably just do the jazz horn. It's kind of my favorite one. Interior, I might... Actually, there's no, like... It would be, like, primary and secondary, and I'm deciding out later, so I guess I'll be doing that. Right now, actually. Full-colored, semi-stripped. Race dash and stripped. Carbon dash and stripped. Oh yeah, I like that carbon dash and stripped. Single tacho dash gauges. Tacho and dash gauges. Okay, I'm going to one with both of those for sure. And then the seats, I believe, are pretty much always the same, so... Alright, steering wheel. Hopefully a lot of these have the manufacturer logo on it, because I like when the manufacturer logo stays. Like, I know one of the, like, Vapid vehicles, like one of the Dominators, I think, only, like, the stock wheel, for the most part, actually had a manufacturer logo on it, so I'm hoping it's not like that. There's some good support for the manufacturer logo on these, so it's not one of those vehicles. Alright, I'll probably just do my basic Rally Clubman. It's kind of the one I seem to choose a lot. Could add more than I thought I did. Lights. I'll do the headlights at the LS car meet since it has all the colored options similar to the arena. I'll just put the basic neons on for now. And by the way, for those who don't know why I didn't like customize at the LS car meet, is because I don't think it has like the discounts. Because I think you actually get like 5% or something off like a ton of the modifications. Which I think is kind of similar to like the like commission bonus or something if you're like a very recommended player in GT Online or something. Which obviously mainly like huge YouTuber people have that kind of thing. But yeah. That's why I'm in the LS car. That's why I'm not in the LS car meet on here instead, because I believe you get some money off the modifications. Okay, this one doesn't have any lock deliveries, which I like for sure, but yeah. As I'll go into later, when I talk about the spectator, I'll be explaining stuff in terms of reputation and like some good ways to go about the event week. But yeah, like I mentioned, if you buy the vehicle on the website, you'll start off with none, but if you do it through the LS car meet, which I prefer for the test track, you'll get the one I actually started with, which is pretty cool. Alright, this one seems to have some pretty simple ones, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but yeah, I'll find something surely. Especially with there being no locked options. I think I like that one kind of the best so far. But that one's kind of okay, I'd say, the one that starts with. Or the all one, I prefer that one with the cooler looks and stuff. Rather than like the warmer looks and whatnot. Oh shoot. I actually really like this power metal drift team one though. I'll go with this one then. Alright, there's some red and blue. Mirrors, secondary carbon. I imagine those are pretty standard options for when there's mirror modifications. Alright, I'll start to see here, like, which one. Okay, guess instant is shooting to one, and it will. Okay, just frost white under both classic and metallic for some reason. Probably because it's just frost white in general, I'm guessing. Okay, white on the Previon, I'm not a big fan of the white on the Previon. I feel white's like the most plain color ever, so I'm probably gonna be changing that. Okay, and then black secondary. Those are some pretty plain colors. I guess I'll kind of go my own little wacky theme here, and I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking of like a brown for some reason. I don't know why, but I've been thinking of a brown, because I don't know, I kind of get some animal vibes or something when I hear the word Previon. I don't know why. Though, I don't know, I might kind of theme it around as the livery here. Because, I don't know, it'd be kind of boring. I don't know. I want to kind of see what a brown would be like. I don't know, I probably won't go like full brown, but yeah. I think I might try to incorporate a brown in here. Whether it's the primary or the secondary. Okay, I know it's gonna be like the most probably random vehicle ever, but I guess I'll go saddle brown, cause redhead, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I want to kind of I kind of want to have like a Wild West somewhat kind of vibe. I don't know. It's probably gonna be like the most wacky vehicle ever, but yeah. And to kind of go with the blue, I don't know, I feel like going to cruise secondary here, actually. To kind of go with the blue on the power metal livery thing. So at least has some sort of representation to the livery. Okay. To go with the crew color, I might go for blue on the, like, interior stuff as well. Though obviously can't choose crew, unfortunately. But yeah. Okay. How many blues are there anyways? A whole page worth or a little more? Okay, a little more than a whole page worth. Midnight, Galaxy, Dark, Saxon, Mariner, Harbor, Surf, Aqua, Racing, Ultra, wait. I don't know. I guess I'll surf blue. I don't know. Accent color. Alright, good. I choose one more because my theme is really stupid and wacky. Because why not? I actually legit could not think of much of anything for the Previon because I'm not a huge pop culture, like, movie kind of person or anything, so I don't know much of anything to go for, quite frankly. And quite frankly, I feel it's a lot more fun making up my own theme than just take from, like, a movie or something. Okay, I think this whole page worth it looked like for this one. For blues here. Screw it. I might go a nautical blue. I don't know. Sure. Okay, now that I have the colors figured out, let me check again what I have. Obviously, I should have done armor and brakes. Bumpers, I definitely remember doing. Engine. Yeah, I definitely remember doing all the engine stuff. Exhaust. Fenders. Intercooler. Headlight. Yeah, I need to do headlight here. Yeah, screw it. I guess I go to blue again. Like with the cipher, because there's no brown or anything, and I'm not a big fan of Neo, quite frankly. Because, like, it looks kind of rainbowy, but the colors aren't that good on it, in my opinion. Like with the rest of them, for example. So I'll do the blue again. Or actually, I don't know. Sure, I'll do Neo. I know I was wasted like 12,000, but still. Just to make it different, I guess. Hood. Horn, interior. I definitely did all the interior stuff. Change the neon here. The crew to go with the secondary. And that's a crew thing you have to actually pay for some weird reason. Whereas all the other crew stuff is whereas all the other crew stuff is essentially free, but not that one for some reason. And yeah, there's no crew headlights, so I have to think of a different theme on the covered headlights, so that will scar me. But that's fine, I suppose. Here's plate respray. Okay, I think I'm caught up here now. Race roof scoop. Not much difference, so I'll just go with that one. Okay, I'll do that one. Splitters. Alright, I like my crew color on the splitters there, for sure. Alright, 11 spoilers, 10, none, obviously. And yeah, obviously you need spoiler for attraction bonus, as per usual. So if you're not a big fan of the spoiler, you will want it for that attraction bonus if you want to use it in races. But quite frankly, it's not going to be a really huge racing vehicle, which you would always expect, since it's one of the, like, few non-sport tuner vehicles, essentially. And like I mentioned, the coupe there hasn't been never coupe in like 5 years, so yeah, coupe race is not really important. And in the tuner class, it's not really that good, as I'll go into later. Dang, I really love the spoilers on this though. Spoilers on this are amazing in my opinion, because I like all the crazy stuff, for example, so yeah. Primary plastic, white figurine, black figurine, like my Those seem to be very traditional options from what I recall with the Cypher. Oh yeah, has that like camber effect when you do the suspension apparently. On the like maximum one at least. Or actually it kind of does more each one, so that's pretty cool. I think it's actually a racing benefit or something as well from what I hear with that. So it might be important on this vehicle to do the suspension if for some reason some people out there don't want to do the suspension. Which there might be reasons for all I know, but yeah. Transmission. Turbo. Or like for example, the turbo is like 47,500, so like the traditional 50,000 in terms of like going here for the discounts, as I mentioned. Turn in here. Yeah, obviously the turbo. I don't want to keep going back to it, damn it, but yeah. Okay, there's no coupe wheels, obviously, so I'll probably go with tuner, since there's a tuner class now. A tuner subclass now, to be exact. But yeah. Karin, Previon. Okay, I didn't really find much for the one I wanted here, so I'll just choose whatever one I feel like choosing, I guess. Okay, I don't know why, but I feel a lot of it look almost the same. I'll just do the Rally Master, I guess, why not? So I can't really think of one for this. Alright, yeah, I did custom. Darth will go to crew, obviously, here, like, with the other secondaries. With the other stuff that didn't, they go with the secondary. Alright, and that's my somewhat shoddy Karin Previon, because I didn't have much of a theme I wanted, but I kinda like going for some wacky stuff sometimes, why not? I know it's like a super random looking vehicle now, but yeah. Might as well have some fun with it. Okay, I was gonna say it's gonna let me go. I feel I did the trigger like a good couple times there. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the car meet again to go over multiple things, and most importantly, change the headlights. Also, a little detail I noticed, by the way, when you do the brights, it looks like the Karin logo there actually. When you do only the regular headlights, it looks like the Karin logo lights up, but if you do the brights, it doesn't, which I think is really weird, but yeah, at least my opinion, I think it looked like it did, for sure. I don't think I'm wrong about that. Let's see, this way and that's right, because it's a pretty recent addition. It's back to the like left there, on the quick GPS, whatever. Yes, it's definitely one of the ones I was most looking forward to with the Previon again, because it is one of those like retro sand race vehicles similar to the ZR350 and the Euros. So it was one I was personally really looking forward to, because I like when a vehicle returns from a previous GTA game. and the Previon's one of those. The only drip feed one that wasn't actually original to the series, I believe. That wasn't like having its first appearance in the like series or whatever, I mean, but yeah. And by the way, Karin Previon is the absolute like last drip feed vehicle of this update. So we'll have to wait until a new downloadable update for new vehicles, most definitely, obviously like every other time. So this should have been the 7th and final drip feed vehicle, because they did confirm before this update came out that there was 7 drip feed vehicles. So for those that were keeping count, this is the last one. Now I'm gonna go back to my Previon actually again here, because yeah, I wanted to put on the colored headlights, which aren't available in the auto shop for whatever weird reason. People still stuck on Prison Break in 2021. That's honestly pretty sad, but yeah, can't blame them. There's all kinds of dumb randoms out there. And yeah, that's right. Lights, headlights, and yeah, there's no crew option unfortunately, so I gotta kind of choose a different one. Blue, or I'll probably go the electric blue because it's closer to my crew color. Yeah, I'm doing the electric blue. And yeah, I don't know how massive of an increase that was, but hopefully it's obvious that was quite the increase there. Cause there's 2 times rep. I just put 2 times rep. I didn't really like specify on what. Reason being is like pretty much anything with rep right now is actually double right now. I guess since rep, there's not really much of a way to show that off in a sense. I'm going to kind of talk about it right now. But in my opinion, there's a really good strategy you can do here for sure. And yeah, I don't traditionally wear an outfit or like any of the clothing on stream. I tend to like do the typical Sinister Gambino outfit I have here for the channel, obviously. But yeah, the best way kind of to go about earning reputation, quite honestly, is probably to go AFK. I know that sounds really stupid, that would be the best way, but it is, apparently, from what I hear, and from my experience, it definitely is. So what you can do is you can put on a thing of LS Tuner's clothing. I think it just has to be one article of LS Tuner's clothing from the like shop there. Just put on an outfit. I personally recommend an outfit because I feel it's kind of weird having like random like sweatpants on it for certain like shirt options and stuff or something. Because believe it or not, we'll put on like random sweatpants at times. So me, I personally like to do the outfit, but as long as you have like one LS Tuner clothing thing here, I think you get like additional reputation when you're inside the car meet when you wear some of the LS Tuner clothing. So you literally just have to put one thing of clothing on from there, and I think you get like double the reputation of normal. So yeah, normally when you're AFK, obviously you'll get 2 times the rep, but technically you can double it again with the LS Tuner clothing going AFK in the car meet. Having this LS Tuner clothing on, whatever you decide to choose, obviously. So you can kind of get times 4 even, which is insane. I think I saw that for like Tez too. I think he mentioned like times 4 if you go AFK with LS Tuner clothing in the test track, or not necessarily the test track, but that is kind of the best way to go about it. Or, but yeah, basically in the LS car meet in general. And obviously, like everything else you do will give you 2 times as well. If you look at the Rockstar Newswire, you'll see it literally basically says everything. So that includes the time trial for like doing a lap every day or whatever. Obviously, I modified a vehicle over there. That's one of the like daily things you can do as well. There's obviously the sprint races you can do, the head-to-heads, all that kind of jazz, essentially. And you can also do the stuff in the pause menu for the reputation. I don't know if there's an icon for it for the reputation, but yeah, the street races and pursuit races have the 2x reputation as well. And it apparently doesn't look like they made an icon for it, but yeah. There is that 2x bonus on the car meet reputation, hence rep and not RP, as mentioned later on the spectator there with the vehicle Vendetta, for example. Reps the car meet for what about the spectator RPs, the regular reputation system. So yeah, if you don't want to go AFK, then probably just do a bunch of street races or pursuit races, obviously. More preferably street races, I'd say, because of the lesser player count. Would probably be the best way to go about it, for sure. I really need to do a pursuit race one day, though, I swear, that's for sure. Just, nobody likes to join them, and I like to host pursuit races, which is unfortunate, but yeah. That was to be expected. I knew those races wouldn't last. But yeah, 2x reputation, like I said, the best strategy is to basically go AFK. I didn't really show a way to go AFK, but I guess I'll do that here. And I could talk about some more daily things as well, actually, kind of. I want to test drive the not gonna test drive the regular Previon, actually. What I'll do is test drive the S2. Just make it different, obviously, because I have my own like customized one, because I think these vehicles are stock. They don't have like the performance upgrades, from what I've heard. When I hear they only have the like, but yeah, from what I hear they don't have performance upgrades on them for the test track vehicles. So yeah, I got a little bit there, of course, for taking a vehicle from the test track here. Time trial. See, I'm trying to show off some of the daily things you can do for those who want to maximize on reputation, aside for obviously being AFK, because that's quite boring, quite honest. To be quite honest, but it is the best way, essentially. And yeah, completing a whole lap thing here, no matter how good you do, should get you more reputation. And if you're someone who purposely like got a bad time on your personal best, then you could probably keep beating your personal best, I believe, for more reputation. For those who purposely don't like go very hard for getting a good time on the test track here. Alright. But yeah, I feel I definitely got quite a decent chunk for Reputation 85, no doubt. But yeah, I'll show off the AFK method a little bit later here, since I am still kinda talking about the reputation thing here. Or maybe I'll do that near the end, because I'll probably like end off, like, obviously once I'm done with the stream I'll probably be AFK, why not? So I might show it off near the end, why not? So maybe I'll go back for that later. Though I'll probably take my personal vehicle in the test track real quick, just to get that little bonus bit of reputation out of the way. I'll probably do that real quick. Okay, it's here, okay. I don't know why I was struggling to find it there for a bit, but yeah. Guess I can't really tell from my brown color, I guess. Alright, but yeah. But yeah, I got like around the whole bar, it looked like, for like 85, 86 in reputation. That's a bit insane with the 2 times just for simply taking a vehicle, personal vehicle, into here. What up? But yeah, best method, definitely going AFK in the test track, which I think you can literally just do on the enter exit, the test track screen. If you just stay on there, I think you're just allowed to go AFK unlimitedly. So yeah, literally, I think you just stay on this screen and you're literally just able to be AFK and it won't ever kick you. Unless your like controller dies or something. And yeah, having that like outfit thing where like any LS tuner clothing kind of doubles that as well for the AFK for 4 times somewhat for the event week. And then 2 times on the nightclub goods speed. Nightclub goods, obviously that's for the nightclub business. Nightclub business is basically the best business in the entire game, because for the most part it basically does its work all by itself as long as you have like all the different stuff. The bad thing about the nightclub is you need like a lot of the other businesses in the game in order to maximize potential of the nightclub, but it's totally worth it. Having all that money you can get just producing like when you're actually doing basically anything in the game is pretty insane. And having that double speed obviously means that we gain to like 1 to like 1.5 million and whatnot way quicker. Me personally kind of like wait to get to like 1.5 million than I sell because of the 5 I do. I'll probably go to my nightclub to kind of show it off actually, but yeah. Why not? I'll take a little trip to the nightclub. I know I like last I had like 1.2 million, maybe like 1.3 with like the increased speed and whatnot. But yeah, again, it's another thing that works very nicely with going AFK in addition to the 2 times on reputation. The nightclub good speed pays off real well going AFK and not necessarily actually playing the game. So this is actually a really insane event week when it comes to being AFK. It's a bit insane. That could use of checking a nightclub anyways, so I'll go there to explain better. Yeah, I think I have almost like 1.5 million already with my nightclub. Since I like last sold it. Wait, no, I don't want to order you. Wait, why am I at the arena? Oh. Probably because that icon stuck out to me and I almost went into there. Because that was probably like, ooh, white icon. I've been going to all these white icons if I'm supposed to go here, I guess. But yeah, for nightclub, if you want to kind of keep track of the due times on the nightclub good speed, if you just want to see like the money amount and stuff, I like to go into the basement. The reason I like to go into the basement is you can actually see this stuff way easier than you can in like the main floor, I believe. Cause like if you're on like the main floor, I think you have to like go on the computer thing or something if you want to check that. But if you go in the basement, you can literally just like do it with the press of like down on the D-pad or something. If you want to like see how much you have, I'll like going on the computer or something. And yeah, I'll register a CO here quick so I can explain this kind of. But yeah, as you can see, there's like 7 different things here, but you can only do like 5 at once if you have like all the different like people occurred, if you've like bought all of them or whatever. But yeah, right now, for example, I have my South American imports, medical research, cash creation maxed out. And my other 2 main ones are the cargo and shipments, and then the sporting goods. From my experience, these 5 tend to be the traditional best ones. Organic produce and printing and copying. I would only really borrow those if you're like super huge on wanting like a maximum nightclub, but with just these 5 you can traditionally get around like 1 to 1.5 million, not counting the like maximum of 100,000 that would be taken away with the laundering fee. So yeah, you'll make this good money here, double as fast for this week, which is quite nice. And yeah, nightclubs, basically the best business in the entire game, best AFK business, probably like the 2nd best thing in the game, I'd say, aside for Cayo Perico for making money. Because you don't really have to even do much of anything aside for sell it if you mainly go AFK. But yeah, cargo shipments, I think that's the CO business, or it might even be the hangar business. Sporting good is the gun running like bunker. And then this is cocaine, the methamphetamine, the cash, the documents, and the whatever the other biker business is. So you need basically the 5 biker businesses, a bunker, and then either the warehouse for CO or the hangar. So that's a bad thing, is you do need a lot of businesses, even if they don't traditionally get used. But it's definitely still worth it, because it's one of the best money methods in the game. I'm not going to really be making money or anything on this stream. I'm mainly talking about the event week. But I could invite you if you want to do your like own things in this like invite only or something. I'll mainly be explaining the event week for the most part. I just need to know how to invite you is all. Cause I don't know what to search for or anything. So if you send me a like PlayStation Network thing or something, like whatever your PlayStation Network thing is, if you just like put it in the thing there, then I could invite you technically. Cause I'm up for some sprint races. I could definitely go for some sprint races for that prize ride. That would be pretty fun. I'm gonna need your PSN ID then. So just comment your PSN ID or something. Or I could show mine, one of the two. I don't know if you can see it clearly on there, but that's what it is. Or if you want to see it in bigger font, that might help. Alright, I think it's been on the screen for long enough, so that should have helped. And yeah, there's one more kind of event thing here that I kind of need to talk about, and that will be the vehicle vendetta for money making kind of stuff. Alright, I'll add it. Now to find out to invite you here. If I remember, I can do it from here. Alright, I'm assuming that works. But yeah, for like the second money making theme, aside for the nightclub good speed, the other one's the vehicle vendetta here. And vehicle vendetta is a kinda interesting mode. The 4 rigger maps here are like on stunt races, they're on stunt tracks. These street ones are on like the road here. Pretty fun mode, I remember it has quite the power up kind of stuff. So for fun purposes, it's pretty fun. Probably kind of most fun you can have, but money, it's kind of worst for money. Nightclub good speed, that's way, way better. Miles better than even vehicle vendetta. Like I showed, you can literally make millions of dollars from the nightclub. Vehicle Vendetta, you could probably make like around 100,000 maybe on like a good match or something, depending on like the amount of rounds and stuff. Can you give me a new comment? Yeah, we can exchange wins or something if you want. So like I can purposely let you win one race, you purposely let me win one race, and we can swap back and forth. That's probably the best way to go about it. So we both get the new comment here, assuming you want the prize right here. Since I think we both need to win 8 sprint races to get the vehicle. So we might have to do 16 sprint races, which I'm fine with doing. What's the glitch? I don't do glitches, just to let you know, but I'm interested in what it is. As long as it only involves you, then I'm fine with it. Yeah. Like I said, I don't do glitches though. I'm a legitimate player. And I don't really intend on changing that. Alright, so I'm going to look into the performance here on the Previon. Show, mention, and explain if it's good to get the Previon or not in terms of a performance standpoint. But yeah, I'm on roughly 152's YouTube thing here, and for lap time, the Previon is 11th place for the tuner class. And for the coupe class, it's actually the #1 lap time for the coupe class, which isn't too surprising considering there hasn't been a coupe in like 5 years before this. So for the coupe class, the Previon's #1 lap time. But as I mentioned earlier, coupes, since there hasn't been one in like 5 years, I imagine the racing communities aren't really that fond of like coupe races and stuff like that. So, probably not worth getting one for coupe races. But for the tuner class between all 17 vehicles, now that all 17 vehicles are finally released, the Previon is in 11th place on lap time, which is below average for the class, which is to be expected again, because it's a very interesting class for the vehicle, the coupe class. It's not one of the like 12, for example, sport cars in this entire update. And in the muscle cars, I imagine both muscle cars perform better. And then the sedans, at least one of the sedans I think do better, so yeah. A lot of like sport vehicles, all the muscle cars, and then one of the sedans, for example. There's tons of vehicles that do a lot better than this in terms of the tuner class. So at 11th place lap time, below average lap time is most races. Not really going to be that good for you. But yeah. Or for the traditional person at least. And then it's 12th place in top speed compared to its 11th place lap time. Again, going off of roughly 1322. And actually for top speed, the coupe class for the Previon, it's of course within the top 10, which isn't too shocking. Again, because coupes don't get a lot of new vehicles, so it's not shocking. It's good for the coupe class within like the top 10 at least. But yeah, Previon, 8th place in coupe isn't necessarily that good, but for lap time, since lap time is most races, it can dominate in coupe races for sure. But obviously, it's mainly when the tuner races matter more than coupe races, as I mentioned, because nobody really does coupe races. You're more likely to encounter a tuner race, most likely, and again, that's 11th place lap time, 12th place top speed. And those are both below average numbers, even for its initial release. And again, it's the final of the drip feed vehicles, so we finally have all of them. So unfortunately, the Previon's not really worth owning if you're huge on the performance aspect of vehicles. So really you only want it for customizations, but even then all tuner vehicles have good customizations. They all have amazing customizations, so customizations this time around really isn't technically much of a strong suit, because all tuners have great customizations. So hard to say, aside for having the #1 coupe now, if it's even really all that worth it. Aside for obviously looks and personal preference kind of reasons. Let's see here. I didn't really talk about the price yet though. But yeah, I showed it earlier, I think, and it's 1,117,500, which makes it one of the cheaper vehicles, so the performance doesn't come off as too much of a shock, or not necessarily one of the cheapest vehicles, but like one of the cheaper drip feed vehicles, aka vehicles that are past the initial week of an update. Like for example, the other two drip feed vehicles that weren't in the initial release of tuners, those are like 1.3. But it seems to be the cheapest of the drip feed vehicles. It's only like more priced than some of the like day one tuner vehicles. So obviously price. Seeing the price, obviously you expect the performance to be good, same with knowing it's a coupe, which obviously with 12 sport cars from the tuners update, yeah, it's obviously not going to perform good. That's basically every little thing I can think of saying with it. And then, yeah, I'll talk about the prize ride in terms of the vehicle, in terms of how good it does. At least in the tuner standpoint, I don't know if I necessarily care to click on another video, because Previon 1322 is yet to update the spreadsheet with the tuner vehicles, but yeah. Yeah, for here. Prize ride challenge this time, as I kind of mentioned earlier, you have to win 8 sprint races, which normally is kind of a pain. It's a small time investment if you do it legitimately, even. As long as you're doing it with another friend. If you're doing it with randoms, obviously, randoms aren't gonna, exchange wins with you most likely unless you work something out with them or something. Which, exchanging wins, letting one person win once, the other person win the next time, alternate and stuff, that's the best legitimate way of doing it. Or again, there apparently is a glitch to do it if you're that kind of player, which I'm not the most hating of it. I just don't support doing that kind of stuff. It's not my personal thing. But I can understand some of the frustrations with the game and stuff. So I can understand it in the slightest. Especially after that disastrous expanded and enhanced reveal theme from yesterday. Which I guess I'll talk about that later. So yeah, the challenge this time is not great at all. Personally, in my opinion, the sprint races are some of the worst prize ride challenges that can happen. I much prefer it when it involves the street races. Even pursuit races, I feel those kind of are more doable when it comes to playing with randoms, at least, because good luck having randoms who actually want to do a sprint race. I've invited randoms, and most randoms don't tend to join sprint races. The challenge this time pretty terrible. And I do remember the performance for the tuner class, at least. Actually, I think I do remember the sport class performance as well, I want to say. Though I might go back on the videos for sport performance. But for the tuner class, which is the more important class, because in terms of sport performance or traditional class performance, the tuner vehicles aren't necessarily that great for performance in their actual main class. They're more for racing in the tuner subclass in terms of their usefulness, I'd say. But yeah, for lap time, the P-Fister Growler is apparently a 3rd place when I watched Previon 1322. Which, actually, that was when it first released. And I know the Sultan RS Classic became number 1 for lap time, and then the other vehicles that released after did not surpass it in lap time. So I think it's now a 4th place lap time between the 17 tuner vehicles now that we have all of them. So being within the top 5 is pretty good. Not number 1, or it's not top 3, but that's still passable. That's still very good for the lap time. Still can be pretty competitive. And then top speed is slightly better. It's 3rd place. It was a 3rd place lap time when it released, and I think the couple vehicles that released after placed worse in terms of top speed. So it is still a 3rd place top speed for the tuner class between 17 vehicles in that subclass. So yeah, very good performance. I honestly want to say this might be the best average prize ride vehicle that we've had in the game so far. I think it's definitely fair to say this is the best of the prize rides that's became available by far currently. In terms of a performance standpoint. And yeah, I'll go back onto the videos here for the sport performance for those who might be interested in the sport class performance. But again, the thing with these tuner vehicles is they don't tend to place that good in the sport class especially. And this is one of the 12 sport cars. But for lap time, it was 15th in sport, but because it is still an RS Classic, it's apparently 16th in sports, going off of Previon 1322, which is quite a few to several placements beneath the top 10 for the lap time. So, hard to say the lap time is really good for the sport class, but it is good for the tuner class. It's pretty okay for the tuner class. And then it's 20th in sports for top speed, apparently. So for the sport class, it's 16th and 20th for a lap time top speed. Tuner class, it's 4th out of 17 vehicles, and then 3rd out of 17 vehicles when it comes to lap time top speed for the tuner class. So, like I mentioned, way better for tuner over sport class. As are most tuner vehicles in the update. So if you absolutely can go for it, definitely do so. And also, like I said, because the challenge, in my opinion, is not that great, personally I would just spend the 2 hours doing Cayo Perico when it comes to doing legitimate methods. Probably literally only takes like 1-2 hours of Cayo Perico to get the money for it, including customizations for the growler. So like the time investment's not that bad, and in my opinion 8 sprint wins is not a challenge worth investing in, unless again you have a friend that's willing to exchange wins with you. For us the legitimate people, and again, I'm not necessarily trying to throw shade at glitchers, I'm just not a glitcher. I'm just trying to make that obvious here. So yeah, I think I mentioned everything with the prize ride, the performance, and what I think of the challenge. Again, not great. And I think I should only have the discounts left to cover, and I think that should be it. I think I've basically said everything else about the event week. And there's quite a couple somewhat good discounts, I'd say. I don't know. The couple good discounts even aren't necessarily all that useful either, in a sense. Alright, yeah, I only have discounts off the cover, so that should conclude this stream here. And there's 7 new discounts, it looks like, for this event week. At least for vehicles. And actually there is a property discount, it looks like. So I'll start with the property discount. And that will be on Maze Bank foreclosures, as it usually tends to be for a property. And it involves the nightclubs, as you would expect with the nightclub Goodspeed. And they did the auto shops like last week, for example, so obviously it wasn't going to be that, pretty much. But yeah, nightclubs are 40% off, and so are the upgrades and renovations. I think this was Vinewood one here tends to be the most expensive, so 40% off, just a little over a million instead of 1.7, which is quite a nice savings. Somewhat makes it more worth like one Cayo Perico heist instead of like two Cayo Perico heists. Just kind of a 1 hour instead of like a 2 hour investment, for example. Style, completely cosmetic, same with the light rig as far as I'm aware. Guess I'll kind of show off what the most expensive might look like here, in terms of the upgrades even. All those seem to cost 20,100. I can't really show off the storage upgrades in terms of price though, as I already own them. You can't really like show off that kind of price stuff again. But yeah, absolutely go for the storage upgrades, obviously, because that's what you need for the nightclub's goods, obviously. You need the storage for the goods. And you can get quite the garage space with this property here as well with the nightclub, so you get quite the garage space for sure. I think 2, 3, and 4 are just regular garages. I think 1 has the delivery vehicles, the Speedo Custom, whatever, the Mule, and the Pounder Custom, I'm pretty sure. And then it doesn't really show it off, but there is a 5th one too, which stores the Terabyte, I believe. And then there's also like the nightclub storage bay as well, so there's kind of 35 vehicles, 5 pretty particular vehicle slots, and then, or 4 pretty particular vehicle slots, and then like 31 of your choosing, I believe. So pretty good for vehicle storage. And the nightclub is the only way that you can own like the Speedo, Mule, Pounder Custom, and Terabyte, so you do need the property for those 4 vehicles in particular. But yeah, probably around 1,750,000, so if you get all the like modifications, it's kind of around the price. Not including the storage, of course, not including storage. If you get like all the different modifications outside of storage, it's going to be around the price of the basic property, a little more without a discount. But yeah, I basically mentioned what the nightclub's good at. It's good, of course, for the nightclub passive business, which is basically the second best thing you can do in the game for making money, in my opinion, for legitimate money. Combining the nightclub whenever you can with Cayo Perico, that's kind of an easy like 2 to 3 million every time that the nightclub's kind of at its maximum with the 5 best things that I showed off earlier. Also, by the way, with the nightclub, the like cocaine can glitch up, the South American imports can glitch up where it won't produce, so you might want to kind of keep track on the cocaine, or obviously choose one of those 2 that I didn't have in its place. But yeah, doing the 5 I chose, you can make it around 1 to 1.5 million with a maximum nightclub, and that's with staff and equipment upgrades or whatever as well, since there might be staff equipment upgrades for the nightclub. But basically, like I said, one of the best things you can have in this game currently. As long as you have all the other stuff to build up the nightclub, as I mentioned as well. Because if you're going to get the nightclub as one of your first things, it's not really going to be too worth it. But if you like have like the good feed of several businesses, as I mentioned, in tangent with it, then yeah, it's one of the best things in the game. So that's the property discount. Now for vehicle discounts. doesn't look to be anything on the arena website this time. I don't seem to see anything for Benny's either. There is a couple elitist discounts this time. So that will be the first website here. But yeah, the Blimp. Since this has flares on it, I'm not going to really talk about performance since it does kind of have a purpose. But yeah, the Blimp is a pretty interesting vehicle in the slightest. One thing to note with it is if you want all deliveries, you have to buy them one by one. Normally it's around like 900,000 per delivery, so if you want to like collect all deliveries, for some reason, it's a little over 500,000 per Blimp. So you might spend around $4 million with the like discount if you want all the different deliveries for some reason. Which personally I want for all deliveries because of Calperico, since it's such a good way of making money, obviously. But yeah, the one cool thing the Blimp has, aside for being a like huge target aircraft and stuff like that. Well, yeah, aside for being an aircraft, the one thing it has is it has unlimited flares. And unlimited flares is actually kind of pretty unique for the Blimp, actually. Because any vehicle you customize at a hangar, I think, has a limit of flares. But the Blimp's like the one vehicle in the game that has unlimited flares. Not that unlimited flares is such a like deal breaker for a vehicle. It's not like something that's going to make this vehicle totally worth getting, but I mean it's something that has unlimited flares at least, so that's good. That's a nice and unique feature for it. And the Dodo's not on discount, just glitched up at the moment. Alpha C1 here. By the way, I don't think this has a trade price. I think this is the normal price over here. I don't think there is a trade price for this one. Damn throat, no, god damn it. But yeah, Alpha C1. Alpha C1 with a trade price is around 1.6 million, and with a trade price on discount, it's actually a little under $1 million right now. So around 600,000 in savings in a sense, or actually maybe a little over 600,000 in savings. But yeah, Alpha C1, it's not going to be that good of a vehicle. It's an aircraft, obviously, which is nice, because you can get around the map pretty quickly. But it's not weaponized, even. You can only customize it. But yeah, as you can see, it has to be put in a personal hangar, whereas the Blimp's a Pegasus vehicle, and the Blimp is a Pegasus vehicle, believe it or not. But the actual, like, Alpha C1 here, the Alpha C1 is a hangar vehicle, so you cannot have it as a Pegasus vehicle. And like I said, the reason being is it's, like, after the Smuggler's Run update, it was, like, released during the Smuggler's Run update. Basically, almost any aircraft from the Smuggler's Run update onward is, for the most part, a hangar vehicle, again, aside for, like, the Blimp. But yeah. If you know it's a hangar vehicle, it is pretty disappointing for a hangar vehicle, because it can't be weaponized. So in terms of money making, this vehicle is not really going to be making you any money. But I think it is one of the fastest planes, and because it doesn't have weapons, I suppose I will go over the performance here. But yeah. In terms of the planes class, the Alpha C1 is actually the #1 for the lap time. Alpha C1 is #1 lap time in terms of the planes class, apparently, going off a Profi 1322 spreadsheet. And then for top speed, obviously won 6th place apparently for the planes class. So undeniably it has some of the best performance. If you were to do like a air race or something, if there were to be like an air race of like lap time, of course, then which obviously most races are lap time, then obviously one would dominate. Problem is though, lap time's not a big deal, I'd say, when it comes to aircraft, because obviously aircraft, you're in the air, obviously there's like literally you can go almost anywhere in the air, so lap time's not a big deal. And top speed's only 6th place, and there's options better than it for top speed that have weaponry, I believe. I think the pyro might be the number 1 for top speed, for example. So yeah, you can only customize the aircraft. You can't really put weapons on it. It's only like cosmetics for the most part, which in my opinion is not really not worth spending. Like if you want to get like all the customizable aircraft, and obviously one's one of those you could probably throw away, because there's kind of exactly 20 customizable aircrafts. 21 if you account for like the 21 if you account for the like Cuban 800 that you get complimentary with the hangar. But yeah, the complimentary Cuban 800 counts as like a 21st kind of customizable aircraft. So because there's like 21 customizable aircraft, and because you can only like have 20 aircraft in a hangar, this is one I would kind of avoid these days in GTA Online. If this was before Kyle Perico Heist, I would say maybe it could be kind of worth having in the hangar for collecting all the customizable aircraft, but yeah. Especially in 2021, as I explained, not really worth getting. Legendary Motorsport, I believe, should have at least one vehicle, and actually it did with the ZR380, 350 I mean. Okay, I think there's at least 3 discounts on this website. And I'm not counting Prime Gaming, I'm just talking about new discounts for the event week, not Prime Gaming. But yeah. ZR350. I would have to go on a video for the ZR350. I would even can't talk right now because of my damn throat. But yeah. I would have to go on a video, and I couldn't go on the spreadsheet for the ZR350 because, like I said, it's not updated with all the tuner vehicles for the spreadsheet I use, so yeah. I'm not going to really go for performance, but yeah. I don't think this is one of the better sport cars, so in terms of performance, I want to say this probably isn't worth it that much for the performance, especially in the sport class and kind of in the tuner class as well, for the tuner subclass. Because obviously there's been all these trophy vehicles that a lot of them have actually been performing pretty decently in terms of the tuner class. So yeah, the ZR350 has kind of fell behind the times already, so probably not worth getting for performance. And customizations, obviously, like all tuners, customizations are pretty good. They're above average in terms of customizations for the tuner class. So absolutely go for it if you want customizations. And as I mentioned when talking about the Previon, it is one of his vehicles returning from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So if you like the nostalgia of it returning from San Andreas, and that's pretty cool as well. Tailgater S is a Prime Gaming discount, so I'm not going to really talk about that one. So that's been around for a couple weeks now for this discount. And I think there's still one more event week that will have the Tailgater S on a Prime Gaming discount. So still quite the time on this discount. The PR4 and the Morgan. PR4, instead of being a little over 3.5, is a little under 2.5 right now, so you are getting a little over $1 million in savings, because it's a very expensive vehicle, obviously. By the way, the R350 is at 30% off, and then the PR4 here is actually 30% off as well, apparently. But yeah, open wheel, gotta find that. But yeah, open wheel is a pretty interesting class. Reason open wheel is pretty interesting is because there's actually 3 performances per vehicle. Because the way it works is there's 3 different downforce setups apparently, going off of roughly 1322 spreadsheet. So there's 3 different placements for lap time and top speed for the PR4. PR4 for lap time is apparently 4th place for mid downforce setup, 5th place for minimum downforce setup, and then 10th place for maximum downforce setup for lap time. Which, it's pretty average and decent, I'd say, for lap time, as long as you have like a mid to minimum downforce setup, whatever you would need to do for those downforce setups. But in terms of lap time, which is most races again for the open wheel class and pretty much any vehicle class for the most part, lap time is a huge deal to be able to do good in. So if you're going to go for a maximum downforce setup for the PR4, then it's not going to be worth it for lap time. And then for top speed, PR4 is 5th place with a minimum downforce setup for but yeah, for top speed, the PR4 is 5th place for a minimum downforce setup. Mid downforce setup is 9th place top speed, and then PR4 is actually 12th place for maximum downforce setup. So yeah, maximum downforce setup is 10th and 12th place for open wheel class for the PR4. PR4 is actually 5th place at lap time and maybe top speed as well. Yeah, lap time and top speed for minimum downforce setup, which is actually the best setup for minimum downforce setup. That is actually 5th place for both. Which is actually the best performance that they would get out of it, is if you have a minimum downforce setup for this one. 5th place for lap time top speed. But yeah, I think this one was a Prime Gaming discount like a month or two. But yeah, I think this one was a Prime Gaming one. But yeah, I think this was a Prime Gaming discount a month ago or 2. And I think the BR8's actually the best of the like open wheel vehicles for both kind of lap time and top speed. Its lap time and top speed's pretty good. So if you want an open wheel vehicle, I recommend the BR8, I believe. So PR4, when there's a BR8 and when the open wheel class is only like 4 vehicles, like yeah, it's not necessarily the worst investment for the PR4 if you have all that money, but yeah, not really worth it when it comes to the BR8, for example, comparing it to BR8. But yeah, overflow to Morgan, it's a little over it's a little under 1.3 million instead of like being a little over 5.1 million, kind of. So like 800-ish to 900,000, I want to say, in savings here. But yeah, the Morgan's a 40% off discount, which I think is the only 40% off discount that's new for Legendary Motorsport. The other two were 30% for the PR4, and it is 40/50. But the Morgan, I think, might be a sport car or a supercar. Alright, what class is this? Super or a sport? Goddammit. It's probably sport. Can't find it in the list of like 70 to 80, 90 sport cars though. Okay, now I found it. It was pretty high up there actually. So the Morgan apparently for performance. For performance, the Morgan is 5th place for lap time apparently, going off of roughly 132 spreadsheet. So 5th place lap time is pretty decent, and of course lap time, like with most classes, you want to prioritize on lap time, because lap times like turns and stuff, not like going in straights. There's not a lot of time where you go in straights compared to turning, I'd say. So yeah, Morgan, I think it's definitely pretty decent, I'd say, with a 5th place lap time. 5th place lap time is not too bad at all, that's for sure. And then the Morgan for top speed. And then the Morgan for top speed is 68th place apparently. And this is actually before the tuners update for these placements. I think it's still a 5th place lap time. I don't think anything's like past the top 5 for the tuner class. So lap time's still 5th place, which is pretty good. But that top speed is actually one of the worst top speeds in the game for sport class. So for the lap time alone, very worth getting, quite frankly. Customizations, I don't know if the customizations are that good though. I don't know about that at all. Being a sport car, the customizations probably aren't that good, but yeah. And this is a Prime Gaming discount that's continuing for like another week. After this event week even. So, since I already talked about it, since it was going for a while now, I'm not going to be talking about it here again. And that's not on discount, just glitched up at the moment. Alright, that was it for Legendary. I think there's 2 more discounts. And that's the Hot Ring Saber and the Miss Shelly GT, which should be on Southern. But yeah, Michelle GT, the most Michelle GT, you're getting a little under 500,000 it looks like in savings, and I believe it's a 40% off here, and I believe this is a sport classic vehicle here. But yeah. The Michelle GT for lap time, that's a 23rd place for Sport Classic class out of 46 vehicles. So it's kind of barely above average. Definitely not good for performance for lap time for the Sport Classic class. Going off a roughly 152 spreadsheet. And then top speed. Top speed for the Michelle GT is 26th place. So 26th place on top speed, 23rd place I believe it was said for lap time. Yeah, the performance is not really good at all. But I imagine the customizations on it can be pretty good, so at least if you want a customizable vehicle, it could have that at least, most likely. And then last but not least, here, the Hot Ring Saber. Hot Ring Saber, instead of 830,000, it's 498. So around 350,000 in savings. Not necessarily that great in terms of the money amount for savings. But yeah, a little over 500,000, not that bad. I want to show something quick in terms of the Hot Ring Saber, by the way. But yeah. There's 10 Hot Ring Circuit races. And what's important about that is you have to actually use the Hot Ring Saber. And what that means is if the custom vehicles is on, you can actually use your custom Hot Ring Saber for the Hot Ring Circuit races. So if you have a custom Hot Ring Saber, you can get an advantage on these Hot Ring Circuit races, obviously depending on the settings that someone applies onto the race. Depending on who's hosting it, obviously. So yeah, that means the Hot Ring Saber actually has its own money opportunity, so because it has that exclusive money opportunity, I think it's definitely quite worth getting a Hot Ring Saber for sure. So might as well do that on discount rather than full price, obviously. Because it has its own money opportunity, it makes it very worth getting, even if the performance, in my opinion, isn't necessarily going to be that great. And I think it is a sport car. Hot Ring Saber here for lap time. Going off a roughly 1322 spreadsheet here. Hot Ring Saber apparently for lap time is 50th place. And that's not including non-raceable sport cars, which isn't that much. And that's also not paying into account any tuners, so yeah, 50th place in a lap time, not that great. But you'll probably not be using it for races outside of the Hot Ring Circuit races anyways, for the most part, so I would just stick to the Hot Ring Circuit races in terms of Hot Ring Saber anyways. And top speed I think is better actually for the Hot Ring Saber. It's actually a 17th place in top speed, and that's that's before the tuner vehicles, which not many of the tuner vehicles actually get a good top speed for the sport class. So it is within like the top 20 most likely for the top speed for the sport class, but yeah. Like I said, performance doesn't matter too much in terms of general performance for Hot Ring Saber. And that's because it has its own like race, obviously, and the Hot Ring Circuit races is like shown off, which is its own money opportunity. So yeah, there's that. And while the stream's been going on so long, I've got like 2 rank ups at least, maybe even 3 this whole time. I think I actually just got 85, and then yeah, I'm 87 right now, actually. So yeah, I think I won it like 3 times actually. So that's interesting. Okay. I want to see what I have that I can get here, so I can get a bit more reputation on the stream, and then I'll talk expand and enhanced about what happened with it. Alright, a hat. That was either 86 or 87, because I think 85 was a rim or something. It's probably one more clothing thing, unless it ended up being like a livery or something. In order, I never thought there would be an update that would get me buying a lot of clothing until the Santos Tuners update came out, obviously. Because you get a reputation for buying the clothing, so that's the only reason I buy it all. Okay, it seems there was only one thing in clothing, so I probably unlocked a livery or something. But yeah, finally, to talk about the disaster of expanded and enhanced. For those who don't know, on the PlayStation like showcase that happened yesterday, whatever, they did show off expanded and enhanced in a sense, but the trailer was nothing really special. It was like just typical footage. There was like one small glimpse of GTA Online. There's literally one small glimpse of GTA Online, and then the rest of it before that was story mode. At least the footage was like actual new footage this time. Like I think the footage last time from what I heard was like a mishmash of like PS3 and like PS4 footage, and then like basically it was like 7th and 8th gen footage for the first time they showed footage for the expanded and enhanced. And like, why would you show footage of like old versions when announcing a new version of the game? Like, shouldn't you already have like some sort of thing to show off? So I'll give it to them this time. At least they had like actual new footage in terms of like PS5 footage to show off for. They had actual PS5 footage, it looked like, to show off this time around, instead of like PS3, like PS4 footage and stuff like that. But yeah, they talked about stuff like seamless character switching and stuff like that. Yeah, they talked about stuff like seamless character switching on the trailer. I had like text about that. Expanded gameplay, something like that, even though like none of the gameplay was like new, it was just like story mode cutscenes, and then like one small glimpse of online. So yeah, they literally barely showed off anything again. And worst of all, the game got delayed. Game got delayed till March of 2022. It was going to be November 11th. They actually had an actual like release date, and now it's like March 2022, so we don't even have like an actual date again. Why did they even give us this first date in the first place? If they probably knew they weren't gonna deliver on it in the first place. I swear, like every Rockstar game gets delayed these days. And like it's just another version of Grand Theft Auto 5. How is another version of a game delayed? Like, PC got delayed. The original versions got delayed. I think the PS4, Xbox One versions actually came out on the initial day. Not game delayed. I think PC version got delayed. And then now these versions get delayed apparently. I fucking called it that they're gonna delay expanded and enhanced. I fucking called it because they showed like, no information. It was so obvious in my opinion. I fucking called it. And yeah, we only got the like initial announcement. We got that like release date, which was basically nothing now because the release date got delayed now. And then the only other thing we really know is that there's going to be like new speed upgrades for certain tuner vehicles, but like now that's going to be March 2022. What's the point of having exclusive content for the tuner update stuff? Because there will probably be another update now for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and we still won't have these versions unless they skip December this time around or something. But like, they haven't really shown much of anything. You would think they would at least show like some, like, sort of actual, like, new content. But no, apparently not. I don't know how they think they can get away with these, like, very small showcases. Like, nobody's gonna get hyped for that unless they're, like, the hugest fan ever. Like, are they trying to kill the hype of their own game? Like, just give us the next GTA game already, or at least work on it, or something. Like, they should be working on that more for a future GTA game over another third version of this fucking game. That, in my opinion, is unnecessary. Doesn't even need to happen in the first place. Just shows how much of a cash grab this game has become, I guess, at this point. I don't know, I'm at a loss for words. I don't know much I want to say. And there's definitely videos out there that can say it better than I can, for sure. And I'm not gonna even make a video on it for the expand enhance thing. It was basically just a game delay, and that's fucking it. And like a first glimpse of footage, but the graphics don't even look that impressive or whatever, and it's just like cutscenes and stuff. One cool thing though was that they did kind of bring mention to like the first GTA Online trailer. But yeah, I think one thing was that they did kind of reference the first GTA Online trailer where there was like the jet flying with like the helicopter and like a Deluxo destroyed it. That was a pretty fun touch in my opinion. It was also kind of sad as well because it shows the current state of the game kind of. As much as I love the weaponized stuff, they're my favorite vehicles quite frankly, but I'm not one that won't admit that the game's being overdone in that regard, kind of, or it has been technically. Not that it still is, this update shows otherwise, but yeah. That nod to the first GTA Online trailer of like the jet getting blown up by the Deluxo and stuff, kind of continuing that, and that was pretty cool, but besides for that, the trailer sucked. And already all it was was a fucking game delay. It wasn't even like much of anything new besides for March 2022 instead of November 11th, 2021. But yeah, what that also means is we are getting another $4 million from the PlayStation Plus money though, so at least we're getting more $1 million from the PlayStation like store and whatnot. So that's another cool thing I suppose as well, and that's probably the coolest thing we got from the whole announcement thing is that we're getting $4 million more since I guess they're doing that through March now. And I think they did confirm they're doing that and that they're not going to stop at the initial November. So I think we get 4 more months of, so I think that's 4 more months of $1 million. That's kind of cool for us on PlayStation. But yeah, I'm gonna check my stream here real quick here. Yeah, I'll do that here. Alright, good. I want to check the ratings and stuff there. But yeah, goddamn, it's almost 7 o'clock and it started this at like 4 something. But yeah, I started this at like almost 5 o'clock. Almost 7 o'clock now. But yeah, that's the event week stream. Sorry, my voice was so fucked up on this particular stream. I don't know why it was. I think it's because I ended up like having a sneeze right before the stream and it fucked up my whole entire fucking immune system and my throat and shit. So I think that explains it. But yeah, hopefully I explained a bunch of things good enough. I mean, it lasts for 2 hours and I do talk about things a lot and stuff. So I try to give as best of an understanding as I can for people who might not be as familiar with stuff in this game. But actually I will do one more thing, and I will be showing off the AFK method again, which I kind of explained I think, but yeah. Where's my Previon? There it is. So you can do this with a personal vehicle or a test track vehicle, so you don't have to actually have a personal vehicle, you can do with a test track vehicle. But if you want the best way to get reputation, go on the test track. And this is assuming they didn't fix this. And yeah, this is assuming they didn't fix the, like, AFK method here. I know they patched the security cameras. Which was the most reliable AFK method for the longest time, with, like, the nightclub security cameras and whatnot, or really any security camera. I know they did patch out the security camera, like, thing going AFK, unfortunately, with the latest update, when it was a thing for, like, years and years. So they did finally fix that, unfortunately, with this latest update. But if you just go on this screen, apparently, you can just stay on the screen and it will stay AFK. So literally just stay on the screen and you're AFK, apparently, and you won't get kicked unless your, like, controller dies or something, from my understanding. So that's basically the best way to get reputation. And again, make sure you have at least one clothing item from the Santos Tuners update, from the, like, car meet, obviously. Put at least one item from the clothing shop in here, obviously, and then you get an extra 2 times on the reputation with the event week even. Because there's 2 times on the outfit thing and then 2 times on the AFK, obviously. So that means like 4 times, kind of. So you should make some pretty insane reputation, you should, in the car meet for this event week if you maximize on being AFK and stuff. And obviously while you are AFK, you will get the 2 times on the nightclub good speed, as long as you keep your nightclub consistent, if you keep selling it and stuff when it gets full and whatnot. So like I said, reputation and nightclub good speed works very well together and makes for one of the highest. It makes for a very top tier event week, I'd say, with the combination of the reputation and the nightclub good speed. So I'm actually going to end off here on this screen so I can be AFK after the stream. But yeah, that'll finally be it for the stream. Maybe I'll try to do some miscellaneous kind of stream that's not an event week stream for this week, who knows. I always tend to say that stuff, but it never happens. But yeah, that'll finally be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed.